everyone, and welcome to another episode 2 of the Oracle Soul podcast with myself, your host, Sarah, and the wonderful Estelle. We don't know where today's episode's going to go. As always, we're just going to act in the flow of the universe and allow things to come through as they shall. Estelle, do you have anything you'd like to say in reflection of the last episode or just in general about the podcast?
Excuse me. Oops, here I go with the R's. That was my thing, not to say R's this week.
Okay, don't worry, lots of practice. We'll get there. We got thousands of episodes to come, so you know.
Oh, absolutely. I just would like to thank people for tuning in and to continue to tune in, because I think as we grow, the channel is going to get much more in depth, much more informative, and just to keep on tuning in.
Absolutely. Do we want to just jump right into one part of my idea for today's episode?
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Cool. So one thing we thought we would do today is to pull a lesson card. So it's called The Soul's Journey, and they're lesson cards. These are by James Van Prague. These cards, there's 44 cards in the deck, and I was just going to intuitively pull a card that will be for our mass consciousness. So a little lesson for everybody to work on, reflect on, and all that good stuff. So bear with me as I first clear the energy of the cards and then just scan the cards to see which card is going to show up. Okay, so I've narrowed it down to a stack of cards where the lesson card is. And I should also note that there's a little booklet that comes with it that has the actual lesson. So I'll just flip through the cards. Okay. And I have our one card. So drum roll. Today's lesson for the mass consciousness is humor. And so I can hold this up. So that's the card. Beautiful card, the green background. And it says, I choose to focus on the lighter side of life. And of course, Estelle, after I read this, if you have anything that has come through that you want to add or we just want to chat about, that would be cool.
Oh, absolutely. I think the humour card couldn't be better timing. Given social media being bombarded with a lot of heavy topics, Epstein, war, cost of living, fuel shortage, I think now more than ever, humour is needed. So it could not have been better timed by the universe to have selected humour.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. So let's see what it has to say. There are definitely parts of life that require your serious attention, but you have to learn to have fun. Don't neglect things that bring you joy or make you laugh. Besides the health benefits to your physical body, your emotional and mental bodies reap huge rewards from the art of joy. Seek out the people who make you feel good about being alive. Avoid cynicism and pessimism. Always look at your cup as being half full instead of half empty. The endless chatter of this physical dimension can seep into your conscious mind. So do your best to listen to happy music, read soul-enriching fiction, and be wary of movies or TV shows that can darken your mood. Happy people attract happy people.
So on point. So on point. Definitely As I said, a lot of heavy energy. And I think that's intended to bring your frequency down so you are not operating at an optimal level. You're not in harmony. So, absolutely, do fun things. Play with your pets, play with your grandchildren, your children, your partner, friends.
Be
Do something
silly and dance.
spontaneous.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, dance, play an instrument.
Yeah. It's because I really feel as, these energetic beings that we are, or these souls having this physical experience, like we are at our purest and highest frequency when we're a child, like when we were little. But that essence of who we are doesn't change. It just gets muddled up with being an adult and having all of these responsibilities and whatnot. But if we go, like, I am most happy when I am doing things that I enjoyed when I was a kid, to be honest.
Um, Absolutely. I relate to that. When we were free as children to indulge in our imagination and we didn't have limits put on, so our minds could explore and create. And then we go to school, and I think then that's where the programming and the dulling down of our creative childhood begins. We're told to stop, to focus. The focus should be on our imagination to explore, to have fun, to have adventures.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. And that's one thing I'm definitely wanting to pursue with little my little one as she gets older, is to homeschool her so that there isn't that indoctrination that comes with the education system. And it's true. It's like with the schooling system, it's like they're training kids to be obedient little citizens who won't, cause any ruckus or cause any problems when they become adults. So yeah, it's
Yes,
it's it's a shame to that that's the way it is, but it doesn't have to
yeah,
be.
because if we allow them to explore, they would excel. They would come into their own. Um, the schools, like you said, they just want them to be compliant citizens. They truly don't want them to step into their own where they shine. The schools are also the breeding ground for bullying and differentiating between themselves. This one's special, this one's unique, this one's slow. When no, they're all equally gifted. It's just understanding their gifts.
Absolutely. I want to probe your thoughts actually on the concept of bullying, because it's something that I have noticed when I reflect on my own childhood, and I was definitely bullied as a kid. And one of the most hurtful things I find kids can do is to pick on your parents. It's not like as a child you get to choose who your parents are or what their life choices are. But so for other kids to pick on you because of who your parents are is like it's really a stab below the belt kind of thing. It's really hurtful. But I wanted to hear your thoughts, because one thing I've noticed, let me start by saying I was going to say last week, but our last episode, we kind of breached on the topic of how, there's things, a major problem in the world is a lack of love, I want to say.
Yes.
So I wonder how that relates to bullying. And I bring this up in the sense that what I've noticed is that some kids who are bullies, they're learning from their parents. And sometimes it's their parents who are actually the bullies, and maybe they were bullies when they were little, maybe they were bullied, maybe they just didn't have a good upbringing. um yeah, I just kind of want to hear what your thoughts are on that kind of topic.
I do think it's generational, and I think it's the system that's created generational bullying. And it's also trauma based. Children that aren't getting fulfilled in nature at home lash out, and the system wants them to lash out because then they pass on trauma through that lashing out onto another child. My grandson gets bullied a lot. Um, so I do bear witness to that, and it does come from the parents. It's the home life. If there's single parents, not saying that single parents can't be good because they can, but because they're broken, that is the introduction into trauma, and a child is full of anger. It's struggling to express in a world that doesn't want it to express. So when they go to school, they will lash out on a child they deem weaker or lesser.
Mm.
So they then don't feel as bad about themselves because they pass that anger on.
Yeah, no, definitely that resonates. It kind of reminds me of a meme that I've seen through, I don't know if you really call it a meme, but anyway, an image that I saw scrolling through Instagram one day, where it's like a boss is yelling at the father, and then the father comes home and then passes that anger on the wife, and then the wife passes that anger on to the kid, and then the kid passes that anger on to the pet. And so it's just like this trickle down of, anger that gets passed on and passed on. So the fact that you said that bullying is likely a generational thing makes sense, because it's just being passed on
And
basically.
I think it's a system generational thing. In my generation, obviously you had bullying, but not to the level of what it is today. I would dearly love to see some earnest research and solutions at the level of bullying, because it is so hateful, so spiteful, and it's growing. It's like this dark mass that is just feeding, and it's expanding. The things that children say to each other, I never heard in my lifetime.
No. Well,
So then you look at the parents, where's their measuring stick of what's acceptable, what's not? And all this, I call it snowflaking. I know that is a term and it is so appropriate. When children don't act in the best ways, there's got to be a consequence that they can internalize as a reflection point, so they stop and they don't become these monster adults who then bring another generation.
yeah, I agree with that. But, on this podcast, we go through, we've talked about going to the woo woo. How much of that do you think it can be energetic related, whether that is, trauma that is passed down through generations that's causing the bullying, or it's just simply entity attachments and, being in an energetic space that has, like schools, for instance, likely has some energetic inhabitants that shouldn't be in that school that can then be causing kids to be doing stuff. So I'd like to hear your thoughts on how much
I think it's a partnership um, of entities. Where let's look at the internet, AI. It is a dark entity. Children in classrooms are surrounded by Wi-Fi. So they're very open to dark, energetic attachments. And then given trauma generational energy at the home, it's like this toxic recipe, like baking the cake, but you're not using wholesome ingredients. It's dark energy ingredients. And we are baking dark children, energetic children.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, what's the solution for all that? I like to, we're highlighting problems. What's the solution?
The solution is we need to dismantle schools in the format that they are currently. Um, I would bring numerology in and screen educators. They must be empaths to
Mm,
be educators. Bring in numerology where we can discover what these children's numbers are and what the energies are associated with their numbers and teach them according to that, where all children aspire and can create with the guidance of empathic teachers to become then the next generation healers, educators, researchers for the betterment of society and the earth in which we inhabit.
yeah, I definitely envision a future where, you know, where your strengths are is your strengths will be recognized, and that's the part that you will play within society, I guess is kind of the way I wanted to
Oh, I
wanted to
meant
say
to
that.
add astrology, true astrology, not these magazine astrology, authentic astrology in conjunction with your numbers, because that is truly who you are. And if you could imagine that all little ones, we understand their numbers, their true astrology, and then they are taught according. Wow, what a place we would be in.
Oh, it's coming. I'm sure it's coming. And
Oh,
when you
absolutely.
when you talked about dismantling, one thing I'm gonna actually highlight Mr. Ben Hawks because he says this quite a lot. It's not so much about dismantling, but establishing new where the old becomes irrelevant.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah,
Yeah, you just infiltrate the old with the
yeah,
new,
yeah,
and it then just dissolves.
yeah,
The old
exactly.
ways just dissolve because they can't exist in the new.
Which is why humor is so important.
Exactly. Let children, you think about it, we make children walk in and out of doors, classrooms. Uh, Put some windows. Let the kids climb out the windows, explore. They could be climbing out of a battleship,
No,
a
yeah,
spaceship, instead of a programmed door. That's
yeah.
part of the programming.
Absolutely. Yeah. You're actually reminding me of when I was a kid, and one of my favorite places to hang out was this playground, and it was quite a large, spacious playground, and it had like a little tiny short slide and a really long slide, some swings and stuff. And oh, and like a little merry-go-round, a sandbox, all that. But you didn't go in the sandbox because there were ants. And the ants had taken over the sandbox. But I just remember, I mean, I don't know how old I was. I was old enough in those days that I was able to walk there by myself. So I was probably 10 or something like that. And, I come from small town in Newfoundland. So everybody knows everybody, and there wasn't any risk of you being snatched off the street or something along those lines. I'm sure that's not the case today though. But anyway, so this playground, I just remember as a kid, it was like the ground was all lava, and then you had to like run as fast as you can, or you had to hop over rocks to then get to like a slide or a swing set or something like that to be safe from the lava. And I don't remember, I'm sure there was a lot more elaborate, storyline to to the game that we were playing, but that was just one thing that I was reminded of when you were talking about jumping out of the window as like jumping out of a spaceship or something. So yeah.
Yeah, I remember my girls playing hot lava, and you had to jump on summit, otherwise you'd melt.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I remember as a child, I think my mum went visiting her friend across the road for a coffee, as they did back then. And the neighbours, they came over, and we had a white picket fence in the back. And we decided to get all these little bits of paint, and we mixed them, and we went, oh, we'll do something nice and we'll paint the white picket fence. So we mixed all the paint, and it turned out to be a really disgusting browny green.
As they are when you mix the colors.
And we painted the fence and all the footpath. We thought we'd done tremendous, to us in our imagination. But yeah, it's safe to say my mother was mortified.
Yeah.
That's what we need to get back at. And we used to make mud pies.
Oh my goodness. I used to love making mud pies. That was so much
Yeah,
fun.
the
And
feel.
salads. Did you make the salads too? Like the dandelion salads or whatever? Sprigs of grass and yeah. I used to make cookies, and that was really fun because I had this like board of wood, and then I just have all the mud all mixed in, and you just like flop them down and make these like cookies, and you'd serve them as well, right?
Yeah, and you had fun. Coming back to humour, we had fun, and it was safer back then. We didn't have the fears that children have now, which goes into what we were saying earlier. We're really robbing our children of fun.
Yeah, yeah,
Just
absolutely.
to be children, to have that innocence. That innocence is so important, that beautiful, pure energy. And it allows the mind to go to places. Now we go, oh, don't play in the dirt and make mud pies because there's germs. Everything's germs, beware. Ooh, it's like the boogeyman.
Yeah, no. And I think I mean we talked about the programming of schools. I mean, you and I both know, and I'm sure a lot of people listening to this, and if not, if this is your wake up, pretty much every system is infiltrated and programmed in some way, even down to Disney movies, is some form
Yes.
of programming. And then as a new mom and looking at, toys that I can get for my little one, even though she's only, a few months old, there's even a level of programming that's gone into the kids' toys that are developed. And you talking about, kids are supposed to have fun and to use their imagination, and the current systems are kind of taking away from that. The toys that are designed take away from that as well. So one of the things that I was reading about and recognizing is that there's some toys out there that they got all kinds of music, and you press a button and it lights up, and it's just all of this that the brain does not need to do anything. Like it's already, you're pressing something and there's a result, and the brain's not having to be imaginative. And they say that the best toys for a child are actually toys where the kid has to use their imagination. So building blocks, for instance, they have to be able to use their creativity to build things. Oh, this is now, a massive mansion or something that they've built or whatnot. Or, you know, uh, not thinking of any off the top of my head, but there just have to be toys that don't have a lot of gizmos and gadgets. And also then when you were talking about kids wanting to use their imagination and everything, I can't help but think that how deep we are into the technology realm, as beneficial as it can be, it also can be very, very harmful. And part of that comes down to the parents as well. We're coming back to the parents. I know I've started about two different topics here now, but I remember once I was at a restaurant and I wanted burger and fries, good old burger and fries. And I was sitting waiting, and I look across the table over on the wall next to me, and it was a little family, so a mom and a dad and a little girl. And the mom was just there, and she was just scrolling on her phone. They were waiting for their food. The mom and dad, they were just scrolling. The mom was scrolling. The dad was on his phone, but then the little girl was like asking for his attention. And then so he stopped what he was doing to like entertain her. But the mom was still just on her phone the whole entire time. And I'm like, where's the engagement for that child? And and she's just learning that, okay, it's okay that in a social situation, you're just going to be on your phone kind of thing. Now, conversely, and kudos,
Bad.
yeah, conversely, and kudos to this mom. I should have like tapped her on the back because it was amazing. I was in a coffee shop a couple of weeks ago, actually, and it was again a mom and dad and a little child, and the mother had brought books to the table and was actually reading to the kid at the table, and I was like, oh my goodness, this mother is like my idol right now. So
No, that's absolutely true. It is so disengaging for children. I see it a lot. I have grandchildren, and I go watch them play sports, and you see the parents have got younger ones, and they've got little tablets, or they give them their phones. There's no connection at all with the children. It is like you are producing for the sake of producing, but producing soulless little ones where just put a battery in them. If you don't want to communicate with a child, go. I don't know what I'm trying to say here, because this is quite a pet peeve of mine. Is the disengaging parents are with their children. They learn from us. They look at our facial responses to situations. So if you're mum or dad and you're just scrolling on your phone, that child's searching your face for a connection. And you're putting a barrier in place. So that child, and this maybe then links up to the bullying, because they've not been taught filters. So mum's got no expression because she's on there. So if I say this and do this, there's no consequences. It doesn't matter. Technology is okay in small doses for children. I personally wouldn't have a child on technology before the age of 13, 14. I think it's unnecessary. Organic toys, wooden, like you said, wooden toys. Let them learn how to build architecture. Not buy a ready-made plastic mansion. Why does everything have to be so over the top and gaudy? It's like this greedy aspect we're programming in children.
yeah, absolutely. Well, Estelle, I didn't realize where this conversation was going to go with just a simple humor card, but I guess because we're connecting it to children, there's a lot to talk about with
Yeah.
that.
I think as adults, we need to rediscover the child with humour in ourselves and bring that out at least once a day. even in your workplace, could you imagine, let's say you're a legal secretary, that's a very dark world. And all of a sudden you tapped into your little inner child and ran amok in the office.
That would totally be you, wouldn't it be, Estelle?
Oh, absolutely. Yep. Sprinkle little bits of joy.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's yeah, definitely needed in some of the darker places. Um yeah, and as you were saying about busting out something to have a little bit of fun, all I couldn't help but think about were our dowsing rods.
Oh, yes.
So Estelle and I have a little bit of history in that we both use dowsing rods to, if we're asking intuitive questions, we bust out the dowsing rods to see what the dowsing rods have to say. And in our conversation in the last episode about lay love down, it's also the dowsing rods are also very useful in, just finding where ley lines are on your property and whatnot. But yeah, so Estelle and I, our dowsing rods are friends. Now, if that seems a little bit strange for some of you, I would like to bring up a Disney movie of all things. And that is one of my favorite Disney movies as a kid. And I will preface this by saying, although, movies and stuff are somewhat programmed, there's often a lot of truth hidden in them. And for those who have eyes to see or that can see through the programming, you can actually find the hidden bits of truth. And so my favorite movie as a child, one of them anyway, was Pocahontas. And I really connected with Pocahontas. I don't know, I just felt this connection to Pocahontas anyway, hence I like to have my hair in braids. And anyway, the song, I'm sure you all know, The Colors of the Wind. And there's lyrics from that song which are simply that um, I know every rock and tree and creature has a life, has a spirit, has a name. And that just comes back to the fact that everything is conscious. Like, absolutely everything in this universe is conscious. Water is conscious. My headphones at the moment are conscious, and the dowsing rods that we play with are conscious. So Estelle and I thought we would have a little reunion for our dowsing rods because they have not come out to play in quite some time. And I thought this could just be, for those who have never used dowsing rods before, this could be kind of a little bit of a tutorial and just a little bit of fun for Estelle and I guess. So the first thing, this is true if you're working with a pendulum as well, and you're working with dowsing rods. The first thing you want to do is to set your intention to clear the energy of your dowsing rods. And then try not to get decapitated, as Estelle's often do. Then you want to set the intention for the dowsing rods to come into balance with your own energy field. And so when you first pick up dowsing rods, they may sway and kick around and whatnot. And so you just want to let them do their thing. And when they're ready, and when you're ready, they should come to a neutral standing point. Which for me, it's just when they're both parallel.
Yep,
And
ready.
so Estelle's ready. Now, that being said, I didn't actually think of any questions that we could ask for today, but we got to do something because our dowsing rods definitely want to play, right, guys or girls?
Oh, I think they most certainly do. I
Oh yeah,
can I can feel
you can feel them jumping around. Yeah, mine are just like
it.
yes, yes, yes. Okay.
Copycat.
Oh yeah, yours like to copy mine. Mine typically takes the lead, and yours is like, oh yeah, that's right. Okay. What question should we ask?
Should humor be practiced every day?
That was a pretty quick yes from me. And a quick yes from Estelle's rods. Okay, thank you, lovely rods. Oh, that's the other thing. With these um, rods and everything being conscious, talk to them like you're talking to a conscious being, right? So talk to them with some respect and humor and fun, and you'd be surprised in the reward you will get. What are you doing now? You just happy? Okay, come back to your resting place, please. We'll ask a different question. Hmm. What would the question be, Estelle? I know you just asked one, but I'm leaning on you right now.
Let, um, mm, uh, shall we make this a routine with the rods and see if there's people out there that would like to place questions? So for the next episode, we can pull them out.
Yeah, mine was like yes before you even finished the thought. And well, that's another cool point to mention is I've noticed when connecting with my intuition. Yeah, I know. Wait till I ask the question or make the statement. So the rods, they're conscious and you're conscious, and we're all connected consciously. And, a conscious connection, I'll call it, is instantaneous. It doesn't matter where you are or whatnot. That thought, that information is instantaneous. And our brains are receivers for that information. And it takes time for our brains to process that information, to formulate it into language, and to put it out through our mouth so that we can communicate in a physical sense. And the rods are like, yes, 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 yes. So, where am I going with that long winded explanation? Is I find when I'm connecting with my intuition and asking questions that I often get a response from the rods before I physically state what the intention is, I guess.
Yeah, the rods are very much telepathically connected to our minds. So before we physically verbalize our question, they're already answering.
Absolutely. Thank you, Estelle. You put that much more succinctly than I did. Nice and clear. So, but then I talk to the rods. I'm like, wait till I physically ask the question, and then and then
So
it'll come
that's the
out.
yes.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, rods. Let's be quiet. So I don't mean be quiet. Let's come back to resting point. So let's ask the rods. Do both of you want to be stars on this show? That's a definite yes. Okay, great. So thank you, Rods. Do not respond for this next statement. um, we're putting it out there. If any of you have questions about anything related that you would like the Rods to answer, they are willing to participate. So please drop comments, send us an email, however you would like to communicate with us. We definitely love to hear your questions, and we will have a feature session of every episode. I don't know what we'll call it, but for now it will be the dowsing rod section.
They said yes.
They said yes. Oh, it's really cool because they're like literally like in sync with each other. Oh, now they're just playing, which they do. They're like, oh, we'll just wait for a question to be asked.
And maybe each week we could just give a little bit more information on how they can use dowsing rods for themselves.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. And
You
again,
know,
if
if
people have questions about anything related to dowsing rods and their use, how to connect with your intuition, any of those things, if it doesn't come up in the episode, feel free to ask and we'll talk about it. I love watching them just swing back and forth.
I think they enjoy it.
Oh, they do. We have quite a hoot with our dowsing rods, and we haven't had them out in a while, so they were very happy to come out of their little storage cases.
Yep, yep,
Oh, there goes yours, Estelle.
yep.
It's
It's busting out the moods.
yeah, it's really funny. So I want to share this with people that when it comes to dowsing rods or pendulums, I would say, and them, you know, they have to interact with your energy or your energy field. So there is a level of what do you call it? You have to come in some sort of balance and whatnot. And if your energy is all over the place, or as we mentioned earlier about bullying possibly being influenced by energetic beings or whatever it may be, that can also have an impact on your rods. So when I mentioned earlier about clearing the energy field of the rods, you also want to make sure your own field and environment is also clear. And this is going to be a little plug for myself. I offer sessions on how to manage your energy field. So you can check out my website. It'll be in the show notes on how you can contact me to book a session. And Estelle has had many sessions with me in clearing up your energy field. So, Estelle, if you want to give any sort of commentary for the people out there, that'd be great.
Oh, absolutely. Using the rods, like with someone like Sarah, who understands energies that are in your home and your own energies and attachments that we can acquire in our daily life, either through work, family members, shops, whatever, and we bring them home. Your rods will pick them up and you you then understand what's going on in your home. Maybe you're getting in a little bit of conflict with your partner or your children. It could be the energy in your home. So your rods with someone that can help you, like Sarah, can define where these energies are and what to do with these energies. And it can bring calmness and peace back in the home where everyone's flourishing and there's no conflicts.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's so easy for energies to affect your mood, I must say. Even today, I just felt a little, I don't know, just a little off all day, and I couldn't really figure out what it was. And all of a sudden, I was just like, I need to open up my windows and just let like air flow through the house. And I haven't, to be honest, I haven't done that in a little bit. And it just changed the whole energy of the house because, again, bringing things back to things being conscious. Your house is conscious too. You should talk to your house. You'd be surprised in, you know, what will happen if you start doing that sort of thing. Have you ever
Well, it
talked to your house,
holds
Estelle?
memories. Oh, absolutely. The house has lots of memories and lots of energies. So I'm in constant conversation with the house. Uh, Living across from a church, I get a lot of visitors, so there's a lot of energies in the house at times, and this is where I'll go to Sarah. Um, can we have a quick Zoom and a bit and a quick energy clearing? Please help because I'm getting bombarded with energies in the house. So, yes, you need to always have a dialogue with your house. You need to understand the history of your house. If it's older, even if it's a new house built, the land has always been there. So, really, there's no such thing as a new place because the land in which it's built is ancient and it's got memory. It's got energies. It could have ley lines.
It
It
most
could have
likely has ley
stagnant.
lines.
It could have stagnant water, and stagnant water can be a little bit tricky and cause a lot of disruption.
Mm.
And this is where Sarah also offers a service, which I will plug. And she can really help harmonize your home. She has helped me a lot with my place. Like as I said, being across from a church, it's over 100 years old, so it's had a lot of occupants. So it had a lot of energies that hadn't moved on.
Yeah, I don't know how many ones we helped move along, but it's been quite a few.
Numerous,
New,
numerous energies.
yeah, yeah, for sure. And still energies that we haven't quite figured out yet either.
Yeah, because there you can have some very devious trickster energies, and they can cloak their energy when you're trying to clear them. So sometimes you need to do it more than once.
Oh, absolutely. And my goodness, we could talk for hours about this sort of thing, but you
Oh,
know,
absolutely.
I'm sure that people out there who are aware of energies and whatnot, you do some form of protection. And if you're not, you should. But whether that's, even just holding a particular crystal or whatever it may be, or saging your place, whatever it is that you're doing, um,
Yeah.
you also have to be creative in that sense as well. And change up your protections as well, because sometimes things will just find a little weak point in your shield or whatever it is that you've put up and whittle their way in.
Yeah, I have noticed that actually. It can be very disruptive, particularly the internet AI that works its way into your energy field. And I feel that is a big one that you constantly need to be vigilant with.
Yeah, absolutely. Man, I think we'd have to have a whole episode on just protection.
That would actually be really good, just to introduce people into that concept. It's like you once said to me, Sarah, it should be like brushing your teeth or brushing your hair every morning. It is a real thing. As energetic beings, we're batteries. So if we're batteries, energetic batteries, there's energy that can influence. So therefore, we need to have good energy hygiene, if we want to put it in those terms.
Yeah, absolutely. That's totally what I call it. Is energetic hygiene or energy management, I think is the
Yeah.
the name of my sessions or whatnot. But I like that concept of saying that we're energetic batteries, because that really illustrates why dark energies affect us so much, because there's a lot of energies out there that can't create their own energy. And so therefore they get their energies from us,
Yeah,
essentially.
they need to hijack our energy because they have the inability to be creative. So they need to harvest what we produce
Yeah.
and keep you in a lower energy field or frequency, whichever the terminology you prefer. It wants to keep you low so it can feed
Yeah.
and hijack your creative energy.
Which is why it's so important to have humor,
Yeah.
because what does humor do? Humor is I mean, I don't know what the energetic number is, but humor is pretty high up on the frequency level, if you want to call that. And one of the most empowering things that you can do is to be able to have fun and laugh in the face of something dark, or even just to prevent dark from coming in, because it's not like I think it actually said in the book, it said that happy people attract happy people. Well, the opposite is true too. Sad people attract sad people, or it's that like-mindedness is going to attract like-mindedness. So if you're happy and you have humor, you're going to attract that in, and you're not going to be attracting in those dark entities and that darker energy.
Well, you're elevating your energy, and elevating your energy is going to have that ripple effect. You're going to elevate whoever is closer to you and your pets as well, because, our pets are also amazing, energetic souls. And that's so, yes, humor elevates. It really does.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Well, Estelle, I'm going to bust at the rods one last time, because we kind of just put them off to the side without, a proper goodbye for them.
And maybe in one session, we could bust out the
Oh,
pendulums.
yeah, the pendulum's coming out. Don't worry. Okay.
Okay,
So,
kiddies.
so my question is going to be, is there anything else left for Estelle and I to discuss today? And we take that as a no.
Yeah.
Thank you, dear Rods. We've covered a lot of ground today. As when Estelle and I started today's episode, we had no idea what we were going to talk about, but I'm quite happy with the ground we covered. How about you, Estelle?
Absolutely. Considering, like you said, we had no idea.
But I'll tell you one thing we did, and that was we had a lot of fun.
Oh, absolutely. I can feel my face, my cheeks from smiling so much.
Right. So I guess some closing thoughts for our guests, first of all, or our guests are, well, all audience members, you're welcome to be a guest if you would like to be on our podcast. Open invitation. We're definitely happy to chat with whoever would like to come on and chat with us. But some closing thoughts. Don't forget to sprinkle a little bit of humor into every day. I forget the number. There's like 3,600 minutes in a day or something like that. So surely you can find 1 minute to have a little bit of humor and just to
Yeah, go
flip to.
make some mud pies. Go make a mud pie or a mud cake, and yeah, just do something so left of field. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that's really important. Go puddle jump. If it's raining wherever you go, uh-huh, go puddle jump.
Uh, I guess I do have
Yeah.
a little bit extra to say, but this will just wrap up hopefully in a second. But one of my favorite things to do is to swing. I like to just go on a swing and just, be on a swing. And so I was in a past relationship, and we had been somewhere where there was a swing, and I wanted to go on the swing, and I did, but the response from the partner at the time was, "Oh, that's for kids, as adults, we don't do that sort of thing." And I simply replied, I'm like, "You're never too old to have fun. So if it's something you enjoy, it doesn't matter how old you are, go do it, go have fun." And
Oh, absolutely. I danced with my grandson at the shops here at the plaza. They had dreadful, sorry, all you hip hop folks, but they had, and so I just started like, and my daughter looked at me and I went, why not?
yeah, yeah, exactly. Why not?
Yeah. So that's my challenge to the viewers. Why not? Puddle jump, swing, mud pies, crayons, colour in.
Dance in public.
Dance in public. Unlike me, don't sing in public.
Hey, if you were having fun, it's okay.
True,
That's
true.
that's actually reminds me of something I haven't done in a long time. But I know we said we're going to wrap up the podcast. But see, this is why we started a podcast because we just like to talk. One of my favorite things to do, I enjoy singing, and so I used to like to go to karaoke. And during my PhD, that was something I made sure to do. So my PhD supervisor's motto was to work hard and play hard. And so I really lived by that during my PhD. I worked really hard during the week. And then every Friday night, you could find me at a karaoke bar. And this particular karaoke host I really enjoyed going to, he's been doing karaoke for like 30 years. And the environment that he presents is, he says he doesn't care if you're the worst singer in the world. If you come to karaoke, you have fun and you try. That's all he cares about. And so he's just a very fun karaoke host, and he provides this environment where you could be a really bad singer, but as long as you're having fun, you get the opportunity to come and have fun. And yeah, it was always a
Well,
good
that
time.
that makes me put a challenge to you for next episode or the following one. Sarah's going to sing for us.
Oh no, really? Oh, great, Estelle.
Hey, fun, humour.
You're right. Okay, great. Oh, wow. Okay, I think my cheeks might be a little red. Okay, well, future episode, I guess there'll be a debut of Sarah, I
I can
guess.
clap. I'll
Yeah.
clap for you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna wrap up the episode before we start another conversation and end up having a 2 hour episode, which I really need to not do right now because I need to go back to my little one. But yeah, if you all enjoyed this episode and want to see more from Estelle and I, we like to have fun. So who knows what our conversations will have? Please, like, comment, drop us an email if you'd like to ask a question to the rods. The rods would love to hear from you. So please also, comment, drop us an email as I've just said. And I'm just going to wrap up everyone by, again, thank you, first of all, for the support of episode 1 was phenomenal. We are blown away. So thank you, thank you, thank you. But please have some humor every day. And until next time, we'll see you.